Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly oracle card reading. And for this week's reading, I'm using my Vintage Wisdom oracle deck. Okay, so I'm going to draw two cards for this reading, just to give us a little bit of an overview of the upcoming week and what the main themes and challenges and opportunities are for this week. Okay, so the first card we have is change. The second is strength. And this is funny because I'm just remembering, I can't remember if it was the last time I used this deck, but I think I did a two-card reading the last time and I got change, I think might have been the first card that I turned over. So it's funny, it's turned up again. So we have change and strength. So I feel like change, I mean, both of these are themes of the week. I feel like change might be, just because it was the first card, this might show up more for us in the beginning of the week or the first half of the week, and then strength through the second half of the week. So with change, a lot is coming to me with this card. So first of all, I feel like for many of us, it means, in some respects, upheaval of some sort. And not necessarily negative upheaval. It could mean, moving locations, changing, you're moving to a different place. It could even mean certain friends maybe moving away. But whatever it is, like your regular routine is being kind of upset a little bit. I say upset, but it's not necessarily upset in a bad way, but it's just things are changing. And on the one hand, this is going to feel really good. This might be change we may have been asking for a long time. But on the other hand, it's also going to feel like we're being uprooted and like we don't have that sense of being grounded and stable. So there's sort of that, and I'm just looking at the figure, she's holding on to her head. It's like holding on to your hat so it doesn't blow away in the wind. So, lots is going to be going on this week. I think that's what the message is. And of course, my attention was drawn first thing to the owl when I first turned over the card. And the owl is a symbol of the goddess. It's a symbol of wisdom and intuition and inner knowing. And in a lot of mythology, sometimes the owl would signify death. And I feel like it's very, it fits in with this card because change is often about death. And I don't mean death as in people dying or physical death, but death in the sense that it's the end of one cycle, the beginning of another. And something's going away, something's being put to rest, something else is beginning. So I think in like a traditional tarot deck, I would think that this card of change would line up with the death card in a lot of ways. So this is a big card, and I feel like so many of us are going through big changes, and these might be physical changes, like I already mentioned, like moving locations, ending a particular project, starting something new, something, I mean, that's an obvious kind of change, but it can also represent more inner changes. And I feel like for many of us, that's what this card is going to represent. The owl is about, intuition and going within. And of course, owls only come out at night. And as you can see, this card is, it's nighttime in this card. You can see the stars in the sky and it's dark. And nighttime is, I always think of nighttime as being like kind of the introverted time of day. It's symbolic of, going within and that the, inner landscape of ourselves. So for many of us, this change is going to be inner change. So it could be like, I just want to give some kind of concrete examples here, but like, finally being able to transcend a particular pattern or habit or way of thinking or relating in the world, and being able to transcend that and heal from something, and maybe even expand your awareness and expand your sense of self. I mean, that would be a really good example of like deep inner change that's occurring. But whatever it is that's happening, the challenge is to be able to go with the flow. So you don't want to be rigid when change is happening. The more kind of flexible and adaptable you are, the easier that change is going to be. And think of yourself as, like, if there's a big windstorm, sometimes like really, old trees or brittle trees are going to break, or a brittle, hard branch is going to snap in a windstorm, but branches that are looser and move in the wind are not going to snap. So that's about kind of being flexible. And then we have the card of strength. And it's interesting that strength has come after change. So whatever change is occurring for you right now, rest assured that the result is going to be strength. Definitely, I feel this card has to do with inner strength more than anything, and finding sort of your best self and your strongest self in the situation or in the circumstances. And I feel like only the strength can only show up, and we can only find our inner strength when we go through times of challenge and times of change and rebirth and renewal. That's when strength shows up for us. So I feel like this week is going to be about finding that inner strength and meeting that part of ourselves and getting comfortable with that part of ourselves. I feel like there's another meaning with strength, and I'm just going to look at her a little bit closer. For some reason, nothing's popping into my head, but I feel like there's more I want to say about her. So if you have any observations or a particular take on this card, please feel free to share it in the comment section below. And I'm just looking at the two cards and I'm just comparing them, and I'm noticing that when I look at the woman in change, she's like clutching onto her cape and she's kind of looking down. She looks almost, I don't want to say miserable, but she's not having a great time. And she's, holding onto her cape so it doesn't blow away. But strength is looking in the same direction. And if you notice her expression, it's very similar to the expression of the woman in change. And she's looking like in the same spot, almost like straight down. But her face is more relaxed. It's more like la-di-da, like this doesn't faze me, that kind of an expression. And she has her arms up and she's kind of standing like she's posing for a photo, like she's a model, and she has her arms up, almost like it's a performance, and like she's kind of posing in this sort of almost a luxurious kind of pose. So I feel like that's significant. It's almost like you get to make that transition between maybe fearing change and feeling uncertain to feeling totally confident and strong and grounded in that same situation. It actually makes me think in my own life of like public speaking and performance. And I remember being like terrified of getting up in front of a room full of people and speaking or performing something. And then over time with experience, it got so I actually enjoyed doing that and I felt really comfortable doing that. And it was really empowering for me to be able to feel totally at ease and comfortable and strong doing something that once made me feel terrified. And I feel like to me that's her whole posture and her expression in this card really, to me, kind of forgot the word, not captivate, but it really it shows that. So this has been your weekly oracle card reading. My name is Kate. I'm from dailytarotgirl.com, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and you can check out my website for free tarot spreads, tarot deck reviews, and other fun tarot tips at dailytarotgirl.com. Have a wonderful week.